Hey guys, so I'm going to go through how we like to install our windows on all of our builds. So this is one of our projects we have going on now. We've got 7/16 zip on the outside with a 2-inch Halo sub Intera on the inside, followed by 2x6 framing. So what we like to do is we won't use an individual piece of stretch tape on the sills. We actually got away from that, just mainly from a cost factor. So we'll actually run a 6-inch or an 8-inch Huber zip tape sill pan on all these windows. We'll apply it just like you would any kind of stretch tape. So apply that up a minimum of 6 to 8 inches on each side, and then we go through and we just clip the very outside corner with utility knife. That way we can fold that flap back and in. It's very important to make sure you get that taken care of. You want that coverage on the sill. And then card scraper, roller, whatever you have handy there, really make sure you get good pressure on that, wiping that tape. Remember, roll your tape. Gives a good seal to that and activates the adhesive on the back side of the tape. Now, why do we do this? Number one, it is a little more cost effective than using a full piece of stretch tape, and it is a little bit thinner profile there. Stretch tape is a little bit thicker, so we just prefer it this way, and it works just as well. I did keep stretch tape warm. It was a little cooler out. Keep in mind, colder it is, the less flexibility you have with stretch tape. So I put a little piece of stretch tape in each corner, wipe it down, and you can get a good stretch on that tape. So as you can kind of see, it's already starting to cool a little bit on me there. So it took a little bit more effort to get that tape stretched. And then make sure you wipe your tape, give it good pressure all the way through, get it to stick down very well, especially in those corners. You don't want your window to end up ripping that tape when you're putting it in. So did the first corner, I'm going to do the other corner. Same process, both corners. Now, some of you might ask, and I've seen videos of this, guys will actually detail tape the whole entire window, sides, top, bottom. I do not feel that doing the sides and the top really benefits any. If you're flashing your window properly, in my opinion, there's no reason to be flashing your top and your sides in like you do your sill pan. I just don't understand the point of it, so we just don't do it that way. So now what you see me doing here, since I'm doing this by myself from the outside, I like to mark the corners of each window. That gives me my left and right reveal, so when I put my window in, I can get that properly centered. So thick side of the shim on this window, apply 2 shims. Then what we like to do, Lexel. Big stretch works too, but we like to use Lexel on stuff like this. We put a bead around that window. What that does is that gives us a secondary seal right there and gives us an air seal and a water seal just in case for some reason that window flashing leaks, but we've never had one leak, knock on wood. But we just like to do this, and this is one of the reasons why I really don't feel putting a flashing tape all the way around that whole entire window prior to putting the window in is worth it. So sides and the top, we do not seal the bottom because you want water, if it ever gets in, doesn't get past the weep holes, for some reason gets on that sill, it has a way out. So we leave the bottom exposed, unsealed, exposed, whatever you want to call it. That way water has a place out. So grab your window. This one would be our Pella Lifestyle Series windows. Unfortunately, not the new Steady Set ones. We got these right before those came out. So get the window in. Go ahead and get centered. So basically measure from your window jamb to the line on each side and get your window centered left to right there until that measurement's equal. So usually with us, we're about a quarter, 3/16 in there. Just kind of depends on how well our framing is, but typically it's that. And then what I like to do, take a level the size of the window, make sure you are racked in there properly. So if the left side's got to go up or if the right side's got to go up, you kind of have a little bit of play there. This window wasn't too bad. So what I did, tack the bottom corner only if you have to rack the window. And that makes it a little bit easier. So then take the level, put it on this. Looks like my left side's got to go up just a little bit to get that window in there plumb and level. Get it in. Make sure we're perfect. You want to make sure you have good function with that window. So plumb, level, and square are important. So what I do there, get it where it's got to be. Go ahead and put a screw in it. Now we are using screws. We don't use nails because I don't like risking the possibility of hitting the window itself and breaking it. So screws, can't break a window with a screw. So check square on that window, pull from each side, make sure there's no rack in it. I noticed with these Pella windows that we really didn't have to rack these windows whatsoever. They came very square and solid from the factory, so that is a very nice thing. Very impressed with these Pella windows. So go ahead, finish screwing off the window. What I am doing on this one is I'm actually screwing the hinge side of this casement. And I just double check by look to make sure our reveal on that window is continuous and equal along the latch side. So every now and then you will see with a casement window, sometimes that latch side will shove in just a little bit. These Pella windows, I didn't notice it as much on. I have had it on some other windows though, but you just want to make sure that you're equal spacing all the way on there so you have nothing pinching that latch side. So go through, we don't use all the tabs. We go every other hole in our window fin, screw the sides, screw the top. We typically don't screw our bottoms. The reasoning for that is, again, we don't want to pinch that bottom seal tight to the wall. We want that option for if any water is to get out, we want it to get out the bottom of the window. So that's a crucial part. And then here's your standard tape practices. I don't know of anybody that doesn't tape their window like this. So start with your sides, extend that tape slightly up past the window. We like to go 2-3 inches past the window on the top. And we like to actually come onto that window just a little bit slightly on the actual window jamb itself. It gives it a good seal there, protects that nail fin just a little bit. And then come down and past you want to make sure you're past your window flange on the bottom. That's an important thing too, whether it's at that flex tape, that stretch tape in the corner, or just a little bit past that. Again, roll your tape, wipe your tape, whatever your preferred method is. Couldn't find the zip roller when I did this, so we were using the card scraper on this one, and it works great. Works very, very well. So do your left side and your right side, making sure you're applying that tape evenly all the way down, and then you'll have a good flashing going on there. But overall, we were actually really impressed with these Pella windows when we did our install. I think we had 14 of them on this job. Very solid windows. Very, very happy with them, and we will definitely be using them more in the future. So taping my left side of the window, again, keeping that tape a couple inches above, and then just getting onto that window just a little bit. Let your bottom tape come just a little bit past, and then tape your top. Make sure you extend past the sides of that zip tape on the left and right sides. That's incredibly important. You want to make sure you get perfect coverage all the way across that. You don't want to leave any exposed ends right there. Wipe your tape, good solid pressure all the way across. And might possibly get asked questions, why don't we lap our tape on this? So I've seen this argument as well, always lap your tape. From my understanding, Huber zip tape, yes, you should try to shingle effect your tape, so underside, flash over the top of it, so on and so forth. But for the most part, we were always told zip tape was actually self-terminating. So when you apply that tape and wipe it properly, that is a terminated edge. So you do not need to shingle effect that.